What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have 20 genius Dutch innovations that prove they're always one step ahead. I absolutely cannot wait for this. Before we do jump in, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. Also, if you like to support the channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit that join button to receive your exclusive benefits. Let's dive in.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel.
Thank you.
Did you know that the Dutch have been quietly shaping the world in ways we can't even imagine? Seriously. These inventive geniuses have been one step ahead of the game for centuries. In today's video, we're diving into 20 incredible Dutch innovations that have forever changed the course of history. And we're going to have some fun along the way.
Let's do it.
Stick around, because trust me, this is one adventure you won't want to miss. Who knew the Dutch were behind all of this? Let's get started with the very first game changer. 1. The telescope and the microscope. Let's kick things off with two inventions that revolutionized the way we see the world, and they both came from the Netherlands. Yes, the Dutch were responsible for the telescope and the microscope. Two inventions that opened up whole new universes, literally and figuratively. First, let's talk about the telescope. While the Italian Galileo Galilei is often credited with the telescope's discovery, the Dutch lens maker Hans Lippershey was actually the one who built the first practical telescope in 1608.
Really?
His design was the starting point for Galileo to make his own improvements, but without Lippershey's foundational work, we might never have been able to explore the stars the way we do today.
Dang.
Imagine a world without space exploration or stargazing. Who would have known that Mars is red or that there are exoplanets out there?
Yeah.
Thanks, Lippershey. Then we have Zacharias Janssen, another Dutch genius who created the first compound microscope in the 1590s. This was the tool that allowed scientists to see microscopic worlds, sparking breakthroughs in biology and medicine.
Yeah.
From bacteria to cells, the microscope opened up an entire invisible world to the human eye.
That is insane.
Think about it. Without it, we wouldn't have had a proper understanding of germs, or diseases, or even the structure of our own bodies. That's some serious impact, right? 2. The compact disc.
That is legit insane to think about. And yeah, shout out to the Dutch. I absolutely love humanity in terms of humanity takes something and then that someone has did, it tweaks it, improves it, takes it to the next level, then the next generation improves it, then the next generation, and it just continues to go. And I love that about humanity. But shout out to the Dutch. Microscope, telescope are both ridiculously huge inventions.
DVD and Blu-ray. If you grew up in the 90s or early 2000s, you probably remember those shiny little discs that changed music forever,
Yeah.
CDs. And guess
Yeah.
what? The Dutch were behind them. In the 1980s, Philips, a company based in the Netherlands, teamed up with Sony to develop the compact disc. This invention took the world by storm, allowing us to ditch vinyl records and cassette tapes for something much more portable and durable. But Philips didn't stop at the CD. Oh no, they went on to revolutionize the way we watch movies and store data with DVDs and Blu-ray discs. Think about it. Without those discs, we wouldn't have the entire digital media industry as we know it today. The Dutch didn't just make music easier to store and play, they changed how we consume movies, TV shows, and games. So, the next time you pop a DVD in to watch your favorite movie, or if you're still clinging to that old CD player, remember, Philips and the Dutch were the ones who made all that possible. 3.
You gotta
Bluetooth.
give a shout out to, I mean, DVDs were a huge part of my childhood. CDs not so much, but definitely DVD. I watched my fair share of movies on DVD, so definitely huge in my lifetime. Appreciate you too. Appreciate you, Philip.
We're talking about something that connects our world every day,
Netherlands.
Bluetooth. If you've ever used
that's
wireless
huge.
headphones, synced your phone to a car, or paired any two devices wirelessly,
Yeah.
you've got the Dutch to thank. That's right. The technology behind Bluetooth originated from the Netherlands in the 1990s. Ericsson, a Dutch telecommunications company, was behind the development of Bluetooth technology. The name Bluetooth itself is a nod to King Harald Bluetooth of Denmark, who famously united his country. Just like the Viking king united his people, Bluetooth technology unites our devices in a world where cables are a thing of the past. You can now connect your phone to your car, your speakers, your smartwatch, all without a wire in sight. That's magic
incredible.
in the modern world.
Fact.
When you think about it, Bluetooth is the unsung hero of wireless tech. You use it every day, and without it, we'd probably still be tangled in cords like it's the 90s. 4. Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that is arguably the lifeblood of the modern world.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi. Could you imagine a day without it? No emails, no Netflix, no social media, and worst of all, no YouTube. All of those daily activities are possible because of Dutch ingenuity. The credit for Wi-Fi goes to Kees Schohamer-Immink, a Dutch-born researcher who contributed to the development of wireless technology in the 1990s. He played a pivotal role in creating the technology that ultimately led to what we now call Wi-Fi.
Oh.
And let's be real here. Wi-Fi is now a fundamental part of life.
For sure.
From the coffee shop you work in to the airplane you're sitting on, Wi-Fi is everywhere. Imagine trying to live without it.
Can't.
It'd be like going back to the dark ages.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi has transformed the way we connect, work, and interact, making it one of the most important technologies in our modern world. 5.
Now,
The electric
Wi-Fi
razor.
is literally, I can't imagine a life without Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, bro. Both. I mean, extremely important. Although I would say Australia would dare to debate you guys on the invention of Wi-Fi's. I've seen videos where they take credit for the invention of Wi-Fi. So that's all I'm saying. But Bluetooth and both of them are just absolutely huge. I could life without Wi-Fi is just not even imaginable at this point. In Bluetooth, I mean, I use wireless head earbuds almost every day when I'm exercising and working out. And then, I mean, connected to my car. So much with Bluetooth.
All right, let's switch gears a little and talk about something that keeps us looking sharp. The electric razor. For anyone who's ever been annoyed by shaving with a traditional razor, we've all been there, thank the Dutch for making it a whole lot easier. In 1937, a Dutch inventor named Jacob Schick developed the first electric razor. This was a game changer for shaving. No more soap, no more cuts, no more long routines. Just a quick and easy shave, whether you're in the morning rush or getting ready for a night out.
Okay.
The electric razor saved people time, reduced nicks, and became an essential gadget in households around the world. And hey, if you're not using an electric razor yet, you're seriously missing out. But if you are, just know that Schick's clever design is the reason you can shave without the drama. Before we dive back into these amazing Dutch innovations, I need your help. I'm on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers, and it would mean the world if you could hit that subscribe button to help me get there. It's quick, and it really helps out the channel. All right, let's get back to the cool stuff.
Nah, these electric razors is crazy, bro.
6.
That's crazy.
The Olympic flame. This one might surprise you,
The Dutch
but did you know the Olympic flame has Dutch roots?
What?
Yes, the famous torch you see at the start of every Olympic Games was first introduced by the Dutch during the 1928 Amsterdam Olympics. The lighting of the Olympic flame became a symbol of peace and unity, and it's been an essential part of the opening ceremony ever since. The idea was to symbolize the connection between ancient Greece, where the Games originated, and the modern Olympics. Since Amsterdam introduced this torch lighting tradition, it has become one of the most iconic parts of the Games. So, when you watch those athletes carrying the torch through the cities and countries, know that the idea was sparked by the Dutch. Literally. 7. The submarine.
That's crazy.
Okay, now let's dive into something really deep. Submarines.
I can't believe
The modern
that.
submarine, that military marvel, also has its roots in Dutch invention. Back in the 1620s, a Dutch inventor named Cornelius Drebbel built the first working submarine.
Oh, really?
While it was a bit different from the massive high-tech submarines we think of today,
Of course.
Drebbel's creation was still a breakthrough in underwater exploration. Drebbel's submarine was tested on the Thames River in London, and while it wasn't the most practical vessel for military use, it opened up new possibilities for underwater exploration. Today, submarines play a vital role in everything from military operations to scientific research, and even underwater tourism. 8. Speed camera.
I feel like the Dutch, at this point, they done had a role in the invention of everything. Like it was some Dutch scientist or something that played some kind of role in helping out with almost every invention on Earth.
Let's talk about speeding, or more specifically, how we stopped speeding. We've all been there, cruising down the highway and suddenly spotting that dreaded speed camera. You know that little machine that catches you in the act of going just a tad too fast? Well, that tiny but mighty contraption? Yep, you guessed it. It has Dutch origins. The speed camera as we know it today was invented by Marius F. de Vries, a Dutch inventor who developed the technology in the 1960s. Initially, these cameras were used to catch cars speeding, but over the years, they've become a staple of traffic control in many countries around the world. Thanks to the Dutch, we now have a way to keep drivers in check without the need for officers on every corner. It's like having a robot cop on every road, silently watching for speeders.
Yeah.
You might have mixed feelings about these cameras, but let's face it, they keep things safer on the roads. And next time you're cruising down a highway and spot one of those cameras flashing, you can say, hey, that's Dutch innovation keeping me in check.
Keeping me in check.
Eye test. Next up, we have a Dutch invention that has literally opened the eyes of millions. If you've ever had to go for an eye test, chances are you've encountered the famous Snellen chart.
Yeah.
That eye chart with the letters, usually starting with a big E at the top. That eye test.
Let's see, my eyesight would probably be sitting right now with my contact. Without my contacts, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm probably like 20/70. 20/70 would probably be my eyesight without my contacts. With my contacts, we're probably looking at 20/25. I'm probably get 20/25. I won't say 20/20 still. I probably need stronger contacts for 20/20. But 20/25.
Which has become the gold standard for vision exams, was created by Herman Snellen, a Dutch ophthalmologist back in 1862. Before Snellen's chart, there wasn't a universal system for testing eyesight. The Snellen chart standardized the process, and it's still the go-to method used by optometrists and eye care professionals around the globe today. The beauty of this invention is its simplicity. A bunch of letters arranged in rows, and each row gets progressively smaller to test the sharpness of your vision.
Yeah.
Dutch ingenuity is the reason you know whether you're seeing 20/20 or might need glasses. Pretty clear, right?
Yeah.
10. Thermometer. Temperature is something we all
I feel like submarines, I mean, in today's day and age, are definitely huge. When it comes to military, like they said, when it comes to exploring underwater, they're huge. And a submarine is like one of the greatest things you can have in a Navy. Like, that's where it's at. I think aircraft carrier probably number one, but submarine, right under there. And now we're about to go to thermometers, which, again, hugely,
deal with every day.
Whether
it's checking if we need a jacket or adjusting the thermostat, we rely on thermometers constantly.
Yeah.
But did you know that the thermometer has Dutch origins? Yep. The device that helps us figure out how hot or cold it is was invented by Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit, a Dutch-born physicist in the early 1700s. Fahrenheit is best known for developing the Fahrenheit temperature scale, which became the standard in many English-speaking countries. He was one of the first to use mercury in thermometers, which allowed for more accurate temperature readings. Before that, thermometers were a bit hit or miss, using alcohol or other liquids that expanded and contracted. But with Fahrenheit's mercury-filled model, we could measure temperature with precision. Fast forward to today, and thermometers are everywhere, from our phones to the weather app, giving us real-time updates on how hot or cold it is. Whether it's to make sure it's warm enough for a sweater or you're just curious about the weather, think of Fahrenheit and his Dutch roots for making our world just a little bit more comfortable.
Thank you, Mr. Fahrenheit.
11. Orange carrots.
I know about this one.
Who doesn't love the vibrant orange carrots we all eat today? They're a staple in our salads, soups, and even as snacks. But here's a fun fact. The orange carrot was actually created by the Dutch in the 17th century. Before then, carrots came in all sorts of colors, including purple, white, and yellow. So how did we get the iconic orange carrot we all know and love today? It all started with Dutch farmers in the Netherlands who decided to breed carrots specifically for their bright orange color. The goal? To honor the Dutch royal family, the House of Orange, who were in power at the time. They selectively bred carrots to be orange, creating a vegetable that was not only tasty, but also symbolized national pride. Since then, the orange carrot has become the most popular variety around the world. It's even so ingrained in our culture that we forget carrots ever came in other colors. 12. The
That
stock
is
market.
legit insane to me how they bred these carrots to create orange carrots, and how that literally just is now with the color that we expect carrots to be. Like, I can't imagine seeing a purple, yellow, or white carrot. I'd be like, what? What's that? That is insane to me. Thermometers, of course, like I said, huge. Jeez Louise.
Okay, let's get a little financial for a moment.
All right, let's do
If
it.
you've ever traded stocks, bought a share, or followed the latest market trends,
I haven't.
you've been part of a system that was invented by the Dutch. The stock market, as we know it today, was born in the 17th century in Amsterdam, thanks to the Dutch East India Company. In 1602, the Dutch East India Company became the first company in the world to issue public shares to investors. This allowed people to buy and sell shares of the company on the Amsterdam Stock Exchange, which became the world's first formal stock market. This move opened the doors for the modern financial system, allowing people to invest in businesses, share profits, and even experience losses. Before this, trade was mostly a direct exchange of goods, but the creation of a stock market allowed companies to raise money from investors and fund their growth. It also laid the foundation for the world's global markets today, from Wall Street to the stock exchanges in London and Tokyo. 13. The first modern world atlas.
Oh.
Imagine a time when maps were hand-drawn and completely inaccurate. It wasn't that long ago that people had no clue what the world actually looked like.
True.
That's where the Dutch come in. In 1595, the Dutch cartographer Abraham Ortelius published the first modern world atlas known as Theatrum Orbis Terrarum, which translates to Theater of the World. Ortelius's
Theater
work
of
was
the world.
groundbreaking because it was the first comprehensive collection of maps that gave people an accurate representation of the world, its continents, and its countries. His maps were based on the most up-to-date information from explorers and traders, making them a lot more accurate than the medieval maps that preceded them. Thanks to Ortelius, we can look at a map today and understand how the world is shaped, from the continents to the oceans. So the time you pull up a map, whether it's on your phone or a printed version, you know that the Dutch were the ones who brought order to the world's chaos of cartography.
Really?
They were the original map makers who turned a world of mystery into a world of knowledge. 14.
Bro, the Dutch are freaking insane. I don't use the stock market, never have. Would love to learn how. I definitely need to learn how. But yeah, I can't imagine the world without maps, bro. Like, that's the only way we know what the rest of the world look like, where explorers know where to go. But jeez,
The first capitalist nation state, 17th century. In the 17th century, the Dutch were not just innovating in science and technology. They were also shaping the world in terms of economics and politics. In fact, the Netherlands is considered to be the first capitalist nation state. This is thanks to the rise of a booming economy based on trade, commerce, and finance during the Dutch Golden Age. During this period, the Dutch created one of the first stock markets, founded powerful trading companies, and established an early version of what we'd now call capitalism. The establishment of the Dutch East India Company, VOC, a state-sponsored monopoly on trade with Asia, allowed the Dutch to dominate global commerce and make huge profits. In turn, this transformed the Dutch Republic into a highly wealthy and influential nation.
Oh.
This shift towards capitalism also brought about a culture of innovation, private enterprise, and individual economic freedom, laying the groundwork for the modern global economy. So when you think about how the world's financial systems evolved, don't forget that it was the Dutch who laid the first bricks of capitalism.
Not surprised.
15. Foundations of investment banking, 17th century.
Dang.
Speaking
All
of
the way to
capitalism,
1600?
let's dive into something even more niche but equally important: investment banking. As financial markets and commerce grew during the Dutch Golden Age, so did the need for financial institutions to help manage the vast amounts of wealth being generated. This led to the creation of some of the world's first investment banks. In 1609, the Amsterdam Exchange Bank was founded, marking the birth of modern investment banking. The Dutch used this institution to raise capital, finance trade ventures, and manage large-scale investments for the expanding global economy. This laid the foundation for the global banking system we use today. Before Wall Street and the City of London, the Dutch financial system was one of the first to give rise to modern concepts of stocks, bonds, and investment management. Today, institutions like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan trace their roots to the financial innovations born in the Dutch Republic. 16. Concept of behavior.
That is absolutely insane. Like, them, I mean, of course, as an American, living in a capitalistic country, for the Dutch to be the first, looked like America took a page out of that book. And then just now he was talking about investment banking. Don't know too much about investment banking. I'll admit that.
Behavioral finance. 1688. Let's take
What
a
is
quick detour into the
behavioral
world of
finance?
psychology and economics.
Let's do that.
When we think of finance today, we usually picture stock markets, interest rates, and investment portfolios. But did you know that the concept of behavioral finance, which examines how psychology influences financial decisions, was first explored by the Dutch in 1688? Enter John de Witt, a brilliant Dutch economist and statesman who wrote about the psychology of economic behavior long before it became a hot topic in modern finance. He understood that people don't always act rationally when it comes to money. They make decisions based on emotions, irrational fears, and even herd mentality. De Witt's work helped lay the foundation for what would later become the field of behavioral economics, which gained traction in the 20th century through scholars like Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. Today, behavioral finance plays a major role in understanding things like market bubbles, investor overconfidence, and the phenomenon of panic selling. 17. Fahrenheit scale in 1724. It's time to bring out the thermometers again. In case you missed it earlier, remember that the thermometer is a Dutch invention, but it wasn't just the invention that mattered. It was also the scale we use to measure temperature. Enter Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit, a Dutch-born physicist who invented the Fahrenheit scale in 1724. Before Fahrenheit, there wasn't a universal way to measure temperature. Various countries used their own systems, and let's face it, that made things complicated. Fahrenheit standardized it with his now famous temperature scale, which was based on a fixed 0 point, the freezing point of water, and a body temperature of 98.6 degrees.
Celsius,
While most of the world uses Celsius now, the Fahrenheit scale is still widely used in the United States. Fahrenheit's work didn't just bring consistency to temperature measurement. It helped usher in a new era of scientific discovery where precise data mattered. From weather reports to climate studies, Fahrenheit scale plays a crucial role in the modern world. 18.
That Fahrenheit scale is, I mean, to check our temperatures and everything. Yeah, it's one of the only countries still using Fahrenheit. Again, shout out to Mr. Fahrenheit.
Pendulum, 1673.
Whoa.
You may not know what a cycloidal pendulum is, but trust me, it's cooler than it sounds. This invention is the brainchild of Christian Huygens, one of the greatest minds of the Dutch Golden Age and the guy who invented the first pendulum clock. But he didn't stop there. In 1673, Huygens came up with the idea for the cycloidal pendulum, which was a revolutionary improvement in timekeeping. So, what's so special about a cycloidal pendulum? Well, most pendulums swing back and forth in a regular arc, but the cycloidal pendulum follows a path that's more efficient, reducing friction and increasing accuracy. This made it possible to build more precise clocks, which, at the time, was a huge breakthrough. The precision of Huygens' pendulum helped improve navigation, astronomy, and other scientific fields where accurate time was absolutely critical. If you're a fan of watchmaking or clocks, you can thank Huygens for laying the groundwork for that whole industry and for improving the way we measured time. 19. Fire hose, 1673. All right, imagine this. You're in a town and suddenly a fire breaks out. Now, fires back in the day were no joke. They could spread quickly, and fighting them without modern tools was a real challenge. Enter the fire hose, which was invented in 1673 by Jan van der Heyden, a Dutch engineer and painter. Van der Heyden was actually a bit of a jack of all trades. He dabbled in everything from art to engineering, and he used his talents to improve firefighting equipment. The fire hose he created was the first practical version of the tool we still use today. It allowed firefighters to direct large streams of water at fires from a safe distance, making it much more effective than traditional methods like buckets of water or fire hose. At the time, this invention was a game changer, and it's still used today in both modern fire engines and fire departments around the world. 20. Wind-powered sawmill, 1592.
Oh, of course.
We're finishing
Of
off with
course.
something that perfectly represents Dutch ingenuity.
Yep,
The wind-powered sawmill.
for sure.
In 1592, the Dutch invented the wind-powered sawmill, which used the power of the wind to cut timber for shipbuilding and other industries. This invention was crucial during the Dutch Golden Age, a period when the Netherlands was at the forefront of global trade and maritime exploration. Why was this so important? Well, before the wind-powered sawmill, cutting timber by hand was a slow, labor-intensive process. But with the help of wind power, the Dutch were able to produce large amounts of cut lumber quickly and efficiently. This not only fueled the growth of the Dutch shipbuilding industry, but also helped to keep the Netherlands at the top of the global trade game. The windmill, of course, is iconic in Dutch culture, but the wind-powered
Understandably.
sawmill took that
Understandable.
iconic technology and applied it to something practical and essential for the Dutch economy. Today, windmills and wind-powered technology are synonymous with Dutch innovation, and the sawmill played an important role in that legacy. Got any favorite Dutch inventions of your own? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
I feel like the Dutch have been absolutely essential to humanity and the way we operate today and the things that we have and do. Like, yeah, shout out to the Dutch, man. You guys have been absolutely freaking amazing. You guys are rock stars, like, for real, for real. Y'all tell me what your favorite invention is. I'd love to hear in the comment section. If you did enjoy, don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, check out the next. I'll see y'all next time.